And welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your hosts and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this afternoon?
This afternoon, I know we're at the bar a little early today, but I am drinking my normal Tito's Orange and Cran. Mr. Nick, what are you drinking? And tell the people why we're here today.
Yeah, so Mr. Nick is having his J-Lore set hopes as usual. Well, it's a very special afternoon matinee edition of whereas we open the bar here because, you know, we're giving a little bit of a salute to some of our fallen comrades. Cheers to our fallen friends as we are going over some big releases that happened, or releases in general, maybe some bigger than others, on WWE this past 24 hours. So a very rare show. So welcome in. Grab yourself a drink, strap yourself in, and get ready for the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Baby want a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Alright, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's the weekend. We made it here. But again, there are some somber news as we break out a very special edition of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Nikki, every week on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour, we have our very special portion of the show that we call Nikki's Non-Kayfabe News. And this afternoon, that's what we're all about. Nikki's News.
I know it's a sad one. I said it last night. Like, Nikki's news is not always is usually not good news, and there was little rumblings when we were like winding down the show last night that there's rumblings of releases, and then forward
rumblings of releases after the rumble. Say that.
Yeah. So there was 4 kind of, I think, or I guess maybe more than 4 announced kind of last night, and then kind of 4 more came out this morning. So I don't know if you want me to name them.
Yeah.
So like last night it was AOP, Akam and Rezar, and of course then Paul Ellering's tied into that. Cedric Alexander and Blair Davenport. And then this morning, and Cedric Alexander, did I say Cedric?
You might, I think.
Okay. So then this morning it was Sonya, the Good Brothers, Isla Dawn.
Right. So a whole almost dozen group of wrestlers that came that were in this batch of releases, which are kind of a little bit surprised because, again, like with Raw and Raw being, I guess, kind of doing it as long as they want it to be, and SmackDown moving to 3 hours, and especially WrestleMania season, you would think that they want to hold on to at least some of this talent for as long as possible. But yeah, a little surprising to some extent. So I guess I'll start with the big question. Well, first off, what release surprised you the most?
To me, it's got to be Sonya. Like, the PFC had a huge, not huge, maybe that's too big of a word. But the beginning of the Rumble, the 3 of them were kind of running roughshod. and taking people out and kind of the threesome together. And it's just like they were pretty used frequently on TV. And I think she has such a long history with the company, though, being on the latter the last season of Tough Enough. Then she was on the Total Diva show, like her and the tag run with Mandy Rose. Then she was, I guess SmackDown general manager.
Yeah.
With
the Baron Corbin. Well,
no, she was with or she was kind of like Pierce's like assistant when they were on SmackDown.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I loved her character on there. You know, and then she finally got back into the ring. So I thought she would be like we said that about Ziggler. Just thought she'd be a company person forever.
Yeah.
Like this one really surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question I kind of put in here is like, why was Sonya Deville released? Because with PFC seemingly having more of having a role, at least more prominent role with, especially with the mid card titles. To me, there's 2 mid card titles on both brands now, so now you have a lot more to go around. Someone like Sonya, I think she's pretty good on the mic. I don't think she's bad at all, and she helped elevate. I think she's to some extent with more time could have helped elevate PFC and the girls there.
Yeah.
It seems it's very peculiar, this one.
This is also not like a straight up release. Like her contract comes up in a couple weeks, and she was told like they're not renewing it. So I don't know if she's one of the, because we can get to it, but Cedric and Isla, they have the 90-day compete clause. Jesus, I can talk. But if they're just not renewing her contract, then there's no compete clause if you're just not resigning, right?
Right. Yeah, the next day, like that.
Well, I feel like that's like the Aleister Black thing. Like, they didn't renew, or he never re-signed a contract, or signed him, or no, I take that back. He didn't sign the main roster contract, so he only had the 30-day compete. When like Cedric and Isla have the 90-day. But again, if it's just like we're not renewing you, like she can show up wherever in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and again, like I guess the question is, where could you see for her? Where could you see Sonya Deville?
I don't know. I'm sure anyone could rock up at AEW. I feel like
TNA seems such a great.
But I worry. Again, like if TNA and WWE kind of have like this partnership, but I guess you can be like, again, maybe you're bringing him up too much, like a Dolph Ziggler, like you're gonna be on TNA, but you're not gonna be one of those people that kind of cross over to WWE. Because again, you're gonna be released and then you're back in NXT fighting people. I don't know. To me, that seems weird. I just think she kind of has like the personality, and with like the Total Divas things. Like I can see her going into like more acting stuff than maybe wrestling. Like I don't know. Does either roster really? Does she really bring anything? As much as I liked her character, is she really bringing anything to a women's division?
Yeah, I think she can for sure. I especially like when you look at. Again, WWE is very rich in the women's division, and they just keep getting richer with every account they sign.
Yeah.
So, for someone like Sonya, I think she can go to. I mean, I don't want to see her get lost in AEW, but I think she can go to any of the other promotions and be an upper mid card to maybe main event talent there, and that could go a long way.
Could you see her going up against like Masha?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, because it was Masha. Did she have like I can't remember if she has a UFC type background, because again, like that's the legitimacy.
No, I think she did. We had that match.
Like I like that idea that she should be a badass. Let her go off elsewhere and be, put your hair up and square up that whole. Let her go kick ass on the indies for a year and really just revitalize her character.
Yes, I think. Well, Masha had the Bloodsport match with Shayna. And then people were mad that Shayna won when they thought Masha should have won. But again, I want to support Sonya. She's a Jersey girl. We love our Jersey girls here.
We're going to get her on the show now.
I know. I need to ask her again. Our poor girl question.
I know. Very excited. Yeah. So let us know in the chat below. What do you think about Sonya Deville being released? Was that a shocker to you? Where do you want to see her next? Literally just in the Rumble. So, yeah, that was the first of many. To me, again, that was surprising, but I don't know if it's surprising to me as AOP. Because again, they were getting and Paul Ellering, I guess. Paul Ellering, give or take. But like to me, the whole Final Testament group, like they basically moved the Wyatts off of SmackDown. You gave them now a victory that's tainted with that whole what's it, the chalk in the face. I'm calling it the chalk in the face. Powder in the face, like back.
Band?
No, it was powder. It was like powder.
Oh, was that it?
To Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. And now here we are, what, like 2 months later?
Sorry.
And 2 months later, and now they're gone. And this is the second time around. I thought I had a lot more hope for them. They got booked like monsters in NXT. They had great matches with DIY. The ladder match they had down there, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And
the Revival.
Yeah, and like give them an opportunity. Like they, to me, reminded so much. I think I said like Rosie and Jamal 3-minute warning were like the heavies for Eric Bischoff in the aughts-ish.
Ruthless Aggression, yeah.
And like these guys could have been on SmackDown for Nick Aldis. They could have been, Adam Pearce's if he was a heel, GM. They could have been the enforcers. You don't have to have them in matches every week, but you just have them as the enforcers for a heel GM. And it just seemed like a big waste. I had a lot of hope for the Final Testament, and this is really, really disappointing to me because now I don't know where they're going. Like I think they left. They started their own promotion.
So that's if you want to believe Ravy Davy Meltzer. So apparently they didn't have the best reputation now backstage because of they had that show. Were advertising people, didn't pay people, there's so much all the stuff that went on with that show that again, according to Meltzer, they put them with Karrion because apparently everyone loves Karrion Kross backstage. And they were hoping like his good attitude and how people feel about him backstage would rub off on them. And you bringing up the Wyatts, even though technically like Uncle Howdy lost, we haven't seen them on TV. Karrion's been on TV. He's been doing stuff with The Miz. I love what Karrion's been doing with like Sammy in the background. But you haven't seen AOP. It's just been him popping out of corners and like being that like devil whisperer in the ear. Like you haven't seen AOP. They haven't been on TV. So this really doesn't surprise me. And I think the reason that I believe when they resigned again, they would only resign if they had Paul.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, not being on TV, sour grapes from what happened over the pandemic, and not paying people, promising people that didn't agree to stuff like that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. And maybe Triple H thought they can do something, but clearly not.
That's fair. But see, the only thing that I worry about is again, like now you have 3 hours to fill on SmackDown. You're presumably have close to 3 hours to fill on Raw. The tag division, the mid-card division, needs to be bulked up. So that's why it's peculiar with all these releases. Like I can get a handful or a half dozen, whatever. But like the tag division to me takes such a big hit in all these releases, right? So if we go back to all like you have Cedric Alexander, I would say a tag specialist.
He's been in NXT. He hasn't been on main in a while, and he's honestly not doing. He's been like the old man of NXT. Right. Like running around with I have to say it right, Shante the Adonis.
Right, but you have him on SmackDown, on NXT, a tag specialist. The Good Brothers are part of this release. I don't know if it's a surprise, a little bit surprising because AJ Styles just returned, so I guess they're not going to do AJ. At face AJ doesn't need the Good Brothers with him, so I get that. But again, tag division.
I also didn't realize Anderson's been injured, and they haven't been because that also went back down to NXT. They haven't been on TV since November, so also not being used. And when they were down there, they were just putting over Hank and Tank and whatever that other tag.
But again, with the longer programming, there should be more of an emphasis on the tag division, even if they're as Baron Corbin said in his interview, like a body for somebody like Jacob or whoever it is. The tag division, you can help put over others. And to me, it's a little surprising, just that, again, they're good hands that can be used throughout. But again, the most surprising to me was definitely the AOP. But I don't know. Let us know. We got a lot of people chiming in,
Let us
watching
know.
in. Let us know in the chat what release was the most actually not first predictable, but what surprised you the most first? Who do you think?
I thought that's
Yes.
what we just did.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just asking.
Oh, I thought you were asking me again. I was like,
no, I was asking our
Sonya?
audience.
well, let us know if you agree with me or Nick, or have your own opinion. Let us
Yeah.
know.
If someone in this crop you thought had a lot of potential, let us know. Interesting people chiming in the chat. Cool. Yeah, so again, if we move on, the other thing is, I guess, the other question is, what release was most predictable?
For me, it's Giovanni Vinci. Not surprised. Again, he was unceremoniously jumped from Imperium. He went back to his NXT gimmick. They had vignette after vignette after vignette, and then he loses in like 2 seconds in his re-debut match. Again, like they moved him from Raw to SmackDown to get away from Imperium. Vignette, 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 roll up. And then he's had like 2 matches since then, and then like that's it.
Yeah, like the second match, he had another roll up.
Yeah, he was like, oh, it's another quick roll up. Like
he's revitalizing Apollo Crews' career.
I think he's injured too.
Apollo Crews?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he did get injured. But anyways, he's like him. It's not a surprise to me at all.
Yeah, I think to me, I actually think it was Cedric because again, like you put him down in NXT, even though he is a tag specialist, like you said, I think he has more. He's kind of run his course. Didn't he start with like 205 Live?
Well, that was the thing. He was in the Continental Classic, the Cruiserweight Classic. Oh, when that was a thing. And after the match, it was like the chant, like sign him, and like Triple H helped walk him out, and he like turned around and like winked to the crowd. So I was like, oh, he's shouting Cedric, and he was such a big thing. It was like him and Mustafa was like the heart and soul of 205 Live of that cruiserweight division. Like I don't know. I want to say pre-pandemic, it was kind of like I don't want to say big deal, but kind of a big deal. Like him and they were having, again, maybe I was one of the weird people that watched 205 Live back in the day. Before Enzo killed it.
I just feel like he lost so much when the Hurt Business now Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
And him with Shelton was such a great pairing. And I think that like Bobby Lashley in AEW is kind of a placeholder for that tag team. They were just kind of waiting for Cedric to become available. And it's going to be a really good pairing again. Another thing that could help out that tag division that they're trying to rebuild back up in AEW.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's where he's going. I think it'd be silly for MVP not to push for Tony to sign him. I think again you slot him in with Shelton.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but the thing is though, if he has the 90-day, he can't be anywhere till May.
Yeah, like it's definitely like
I don't know, you think like 3 months is not a long time. It kind of is a long time. Like, so you're just gonna have now we're just booking AEW, but like 90 days. Like he can't show up till if technically May 7th. He can't show up anywhere.
Yeah. So what AEW pay-per-view is?
Well, is he going to appear at Double or Nothing to help? Because that's the end of May. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's Double or Nothing, and that's basically
like a Lashley.
That's basically their Mania.
He's not. Well, again, I mean, I think putting him in the group would be a big moment, but I don't know. What do you all think? What is the most predictable release that happened in the last 24 hours?
Mm-hmm.
We'll call it 48 hours just to be safe. Was there one that you thought was just inevitable? Like, to me, it was Cedric.
Vinci.
Again, the tag division took.
Oh, you in this tag division? He wasn't a tag team anymore. He tried to whatever he did would try to get with Tiffany backstage, and
Just
no
because
one.
You're not a tag team doesn't mean you're not a good tag team specialist. That's what I'm saying.
Again, these are
Put that
people
way.
that are not being. Again, I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but they're not being used. Like the only one that was being used was Sonya. None of this like is an oh my god thing. You're not being used.
Isla Dawn was a women's tag champion.
When's the last time she was on
TV?
TV? When was the last time she was on TV? She wasn't in any of the like Alba Fire was in the United States tournament bracket thing. Isla wasn't. Or she was,
Yeah,
she went out the first round.
I think because Isla's a little bit more greener. And that was just for that reason alone. But that's fine.
I don't know. I think a lot of this is like we don't like that's what with Blair Davenport there was like we don't have creative for you. Like she's done Jackal since she came up from NXT.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was more potential. Again, the women's tag division. As we talk about tag division, the women's tag division now took another hit from the women's former women's tag team champions. Now, so I think there's a lot. At least with Isla, Blair, I didn't really see much going on with her.
I don't know. She doesn't really. I think it throws me off because she tries to be like this goth girl, and her name's like Blair Davenport. Like I feel she should be wearing like going to like tennis practice and like her cable sweater. So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Now, the other question that I have for you is, I guess now with these 10 names out on the open market, who is the hottest free agent, whether it's on the indies to go to any company?
Well, I guess I have to kind of piggyback off your thing. I'm like, Cedric's got to go to AEW. Like that's the one that's like 100% to me, 100% lock. Like he's everyone that he was in the faction with went over there. He's gonna go over there. I think because again, going back, Blair Davenport, her indie name is B Priestley. She wrote like Gaijin. Like I think she's gonna go back to Stardom, or maybe New Japan's been doing more stuff. Like I think maybe more of that. With Nixon Newell also being back on the indie scene, having them, Tegan Knox having redo their because they had a huge rivalry. Yeah. Before they both went to WWE, so maybe wherever Nixon is, I think she's just been doing like UK stuff.
I still think that. Well,
yeah. Do you think? Sonya, yeah. Okay.
I think Sonya's probably got the most marketable out of all of them. Like Good Brothers, AOP, I think could have value to AEW revitalizing their tag division. If they're still building that up, I think that's a possibility there. But yeah, like to me, when you talk about, there is, but good, potentially top tier main event female talent doesn't come by too easily. So I think with Sonya, I think she has a tremendous upside, whether it's TNA, AEW. I could see her going to like MLW and doing well there.
You can Stardom if she wants to, do an excursion, out east. Right? They're east. Beast from the East. That was at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. No, that was New Japan. All Japan.
No, I'm thinking when they did the NXT, the WWE did a show in Japan, and like Brock Lesnar killed somebody, and Finn Balor was the NXT champion.
Oh yes, it was Beast in the East.
Beast in the East.
Yes,
I'm thinking Bam Bam Bigelow. Sorry.
Yes, no, you have that.
So.
What's up, Graveyard Ship?
Hey.
Welcome to the Wrestling Happy Hour, the Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We're getting more people chiming in. Big crowd tonight. A bunch of people on Twitter, X. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe if you haven't. A bunch of people coming in on YouTube as well. So feel free. Let us know what was the biggest release. Who is the hottest free agent now available that WWE just released? We'll pull this back up.
Who surprised you? Who didn't surprise you?
you want to call in, let us know what you're thinking
What you drinking?
about all these names that just got released from WWE. StreamYard link is in the description. I also pinned it into the chat. I think I pinned it. Start. But
Also, do you think there's going to be more? I know, like, again, Sean Ross Sapp tweeted earlier this morning. I sent you the screenshot of, like, the list of names, and he wanted to get confirmation if there's going to be more. And then, like, have we seen kind of, like, a mass names release? Because, again, not everyone, like, Sonya, they're not renewing. We haven't kind of seen a mass release in maybe 2 years. Like, you know, during the pandemic, all that like when they released Bray Wyatt, we were all like, what?
yeah, I know that we would have done a show on just a standalone show about Bray Wyatt. Well, we did do one about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting in the David Bridal's parking lot, and I messaged you, and I was like, Bray Wyatt just got released.
True.
I was taking mom dress shopping for the wedding. I was in the parking lot. I was like,
hey, Greg, yeah, watch-alongs, yeah. Well, so we don't do watch-alongs. We do our Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour Fridays at 6, where we review the whole week in wrestling. We're doing a special show today. Our friends usually do watch-alongs. We chime in. Our friends with Iconic Wrestling Podcast, and also In Your House. Our friends Josh, who join in and chime in on our show. But our show is a call-in themed, comment, write-in themed wrestling podcast show. So we're just kind of going through this week what happened. And it was kind of a surprise. Like, we did the show last day, 6 p.m. Eastern, and
feels like when we were wrapping up, someone in the comments was like, releases? Question mark?
Yeah, it was pretty surprising. I mean, like, because we did, Nikki's News yesterday was about Duke Hudson being released, and I was like,
Yeah.
Duke Hudson. But
I don't know. I think they're I think it's at the point. I know it's not maybe AEW levels, but sometimes I think we're at the point, like, they are kind of bloated a little bit. Like, I know they have like the 6 hours or what is it, 7 hours? No, 8 hours of show because you got 2 hours for NXT. Raw is basically closer to 3 hours, and then SmackDown is 3 hours. But, like, again, they're not being used on TV. Again, like, we haven't seen Blair Davenport. Yeah. We haven't seen AOP on TV.
Well, Blair Davenport, I really didn't have.
Again, she does nothing. She does nothing for me.
I was like, oh, she got a push, and it's like, okay, I didn't even know she was getting called up.
And it's just weird because her in the Indies and Bea Priestley, I feel like she had like shorter hair, and again the Blair Davenport, like I feel like they shouldn't really have like a character.
They should have put her with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, and then they could have called it the Blair Witch Project. Boom. Boom. Come on. Tell me I'm not a great book.
You're such, oh my god. But
that would have been a good group. They would have been better than Pure Fusion Collective. They would have gotten more over.
But I think it can maybe more hope for Bea because she has that indie background. Like, for me, like, Sonya's such a WWE kid. But again, like, so is Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, and Cody and Sonya are kind of different animals, but I don't know.
Slightly different.
But I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to see, like, the names that, again, it's basically Blair was told we have nothing for you. Sonya was told we're not renewing you.
Yeah, it's pretty right. I mean, again, there's a lot of names here, a lot of former champions. Like,
yeah, and then
a lot of former tag team champions. Not to keep harping on it, but a lot of former tag team champions, women's and men's.
But also, like,
well, except AOP. Who shoot? How did they? Again, I'm just going to go back on my soapbox here, but how did they get all the way back up to the main roster, right? And AOP didn't end up winning any sort of belt. Right? They didn't win any tag titles.
No, because they didn't do jack shit with them.
Like, that was
the problem is the Final Testament was floundering. Didn't they get beat up by the Hurt Business at Mania last year? That's when Jason Kelsey came out.
Oh, that was the the same match? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No, it was a Rey Mysterio thing. Was it the same match?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was the tag
Hold on.
match. But it's like they haven't been doing anything with the Final Testament, and I wish like Ed was here. Like I know he loves Karrion Kross, and again, Karrion Kross I feel like has more personality on social media than they're allowing them to be on TV. And then I also kind of feel that's the same way about the Good Brothers. I'm like they were so like if you haven't watched Southpaw Regional Wrestling,
good call. You're right. Yeah, because that's what Jason Kelsey comes. Yeah,
yeah,
comes out at the end in the street fight.
Yeah, it's a street, so it came out. But go back and watch the short-lived YouTube thing that WWE did, Southpaw Regional Wrestling. They're all like John Cena and Chris Jericho are like the funny commentator people. But then you had, that's Tex Ferguson and what's his name? But like the Good Brothers have more personality. I had that shirt. What? Oh, Chad Too Bad. It was Tex Ferguson and Chad Too Bad. I had to think of the shirt I had. Remember that blue one? I have anywhoosies. But I feel like they have more personality in that little YouTube show and their own, talking shop with the Good Brothers. I think there was their podcast for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like they have, more. They should just I feel like maybe them being older, maybe should wind down their career. They should do like a wrestling school or just do their podcast or do both. But I think maybe them teaching the upcoming the younger bucks. Again, they could rock up in AEW when Anderson's healthy, But I don't feel like they need to go. I don't need to see them pop back up in TNA. But again, I don't think WWE really let them shine at all.
Why not? I mean, help. I think it'd be kind of ironic though. They get released and they just sign with
Well,
TNA.
that's why I think worry about
talent.
all these people. You have to keep them. But honestly, I know we're pushing for Cedric to go to AEW and do the Hurt Syndicate stuff, but him being on TNA and reigniting the feud with Mustafa, not mad at that. They had some great matches.
Yeah.
The two of them kept that brand going.
If he's gonna get that opportunity again there, and he use himself more.
Yeah, he's going to AEW, but again, I'm just saying.
He's gonna get a ridiculous contract from Tony to be just a tag team guy, and then he'll compete at some point in time for the Continental class, Continental. It's called not the internet, the Continental, the Okada, Continental. Now, I keep calling Crunchwrap because Ed makes it call.
Or is it it's not the international? He has a continental. Who is the international one?
The international champion
is Takeshita.
Yeah. But I don't know. What do you all think? Let us know. Is there a particular wrestler that you were shocked in this grouping that got cut, released? Right? Again, just to reiterate, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport, the Authors of Pain, and Paul Ellering as a package deal. Isla Dawn, Cedric, I almost called him Benson, running back. Cedric Alexander, and the Good Brothers. And if you want to throw Duke Hudson in there, he was yesterday as well. So I don't know. Is there any particular person in there, any particular wrestler, maybe Paul Ellering, that you were upset with, didn't like? Want to type in? Let us know. You want to call in? The phone lines are open. We'll leave those open. Anyone wants to chime in there? We've got a lot of people watching in. We appreciate you chiming in. Hit the old like, smash the like, hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you're coming in on YouTube, we are now on Twitch, Nikki.
I know, this is our second stream on Twitch. Last night was our big debut.
And you could argue we made a return today to Twitch.
Ah.
So I don't know. Very, very interesting to see. But I'm not sure. We'll see where everything goes from here.
Yeah.
And again, who could be next? Who is someone?
I hope. Again, I don't want to wish any bad juju on anyone, or don't want anyone to lose their job. But I still feel like there are some people that if you're not gonna miss Giovanni Vinci. I'm sorry.
No.
Ludwig is doing fine.
I forgot to put him in this graphic too. He's not.
Who?
Vinci. He didn't make it.
Oh.
sorry. We
Um,
barely knew you.
yeah.
He's got another boomerang hire who got released again. Right? He comes back around.
He didn't get released.
Vinci? Yeah, he did. He came back with Imperium
Did he?
the second time around, yes. Because remember, it was in, oh my gosh, overseas Scotland? Was that the one that they had a triple threat?
No, I don't think
Gunter.
when Gunter went up to Maine, only Ludwig came with him. And then he was doing the model character in NXT, and then he got called up to join Imperium. I don't think he was released. I just think he didn't get called up right away. Kind of like when...
No, but he got let go and then he brought back.
I don't think so.
Yes, he did. Because he was on the main roster as Imperium, and then they was just him and Kaiser for a while, and then eventually they went back, and it was overseas.
He went to NXT. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Giovanni. Now we don't have Steven tonight. This afternoon. Giovanni, Vinci.
Apparently, Alba Fire, there's been no word about her. I think it's just Isla Dawn tweeted that she's has her 90-day complete. Apparently, Alba Fire is still with the company as of this recording.
Yes. Yeah. As far as we've heard to date, yes. Alba Fire is still around. And I get Kylie, right?
Yes.
Yes. I think again she's more polished. You know, like
Yeah.
Isla.
She was the UK Women's Champion. The second, right? She took the belt off Rhea.
Believe so. I don't know. I'm still trying to course correct on this Vinci thing. Hold on.
No one cares.
Hold on, you might break. This is all right. Well, Wikipedia's giving me 2017 to 2025, so it's giving me a whole group together.
No, I don't think he went up with them to me because he was doing the model
He
gimmick.
got released at least once.
I don't think so. Because he was in the Continental. God damn it, the Cruiserweight Classic. And then he bulked up because he didn't want to be on the 205 roster, so he bulked up.
I'm not sure.
Why don't you just do control, find, release?
All right, we'll try that. All right, saying
Riveting stuff watching.
It's saying once. All right. So Nikki was right.
Mama's right again.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
But I don't know. I'm sad Isla's gone, but I do. If Zori had to choose, I rather they kept Alba. I hate that they changed her name. I get then they're all about changing names back then, but it's stupid. I know it's.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because I thought Isla had a lot of potential and was pretty over.
Yeah, I think that they won the women's tag belts in Scotland because they're Scottish, and that was a really beautiful moment. I would like to see Alba even mix it up if she's still on SmackDown, mix it up with Chelsea, or I think to be put her on Raw and have her chase Lyra.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess Ivy's going after Lyra. And then, I don't know, Chelsea's been feuding with Medium for 7,000 years. I'm over that. Give Chelsea somebody else. Again,
well, the Chelsea Piper thing might end up.
Yeah, true. But again, I think there is that mid card that they can be doing, more. So I hope Alba stays the company.
Yeah, no, I think she will. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. Very somber Saturday afternoon, but. Yeah, we try and keep it positive. There's a lot of opportunity.
I know, and that's the thing. There's so many other places they can go. They can go to TNA. They can go to AEW. Again, they could go to Mexico to see CMLL or MLW, Stardom. There's, wrestling's looking pretty good right now. So I think all these people are going to land on their feet. And even if they decide not to wrestle anymore, I think Sonya can go to Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
They're all going to go on Chris Van Fleet's show.
I know. He's got a bunch of interviews coming up. And
Oh,
hopefully
yeah.
we'll get one.
I completely forgot about Baron Corbin when you brought him up. When is he out of, or what is it, Bishop somebody, or?
Yeah, I forget his name. Hold on, Baron Corbin, new ring name.
It's because he said Bishop's higher than a Baron.
Nomad Bishop Dyer.
Bishop Dyer. But when's his 90 days up? Because that was before.
No, he's already been. He was at I want to say GCW.
Yeah, but did he do something, or is he
He's
just
in a match.
backstage?
Yeah, he's been
Oh,
booked.
was he?
I've seen him on cards. Yeah, or he's at least booked. He's at least booked. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just had a match. And it's curious.
But again, also Baron thinking he was such a WWE guy going out on the indies. So I don't know. I got high hopes for these kids. They'll land on their
If
feet.
you're the GM or a GM's assistant, well, actually, no, they were both.
No, they should.
That was a long
Baron,
time.
like WWE did Baron dirty. I really like Baron Corbin. I think his moveset. We're not allowed to say moveset. But give a WWE kid the End of Days, I guess. Like that's such a beautiful move.
Yeah, but it has to be a big person.
Yeah.
You can't be a small.
Like End of Days Deep Six. Like he had such a. You're not allowed to say moveset, but he had a great moveset.
You can say it on this show. You just can't say it.
I can't say to CM Punk's face.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the word moveset. Sorry, Mr. Punk.
Unbelievable.
I know.
But
Ugh.
a lot of people coming in. Let us know in the chat. Do you think there's going to be more? Who's somebody that's not being used that probably should be granted their release or should ask for it? Is there someone in particular that's just kind of, but just biding their time, going through the motions, or just being booked poorly, a la Cody Rhodes during the end of his run?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like who's like bottom of the. Then I kind of feel bad for Shotzi. Like Shotzi through all the run. Through all the run through, she was supposed to be in the Rumble, and then when Alexa resigned, they took Shotzi out and plugged Alexa in. And apparently there was photos of her backstage looking real sad. And then I'm like, oh, you're dumping Sonya. You could have put Shotzi in that if you're keeping Shotzi.
No, it's true. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, there's way more women's returns than men's Rumble, but
it was a stacked Rumble. But
it's been good. But yeah, so the phone lines are open if anyone wants to call in and let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about all these releases on like we said, somber Saturday. But yeah, we'll see where we have now 90 days for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All these folks to see where we're headed. But I don't know, we'll see. Let's get through. Let's see.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's spot where all three members of PFC got eliminated together. Probably wanted to keep it.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like they had all three of them kind of ran roughshod for a little bit, and then like everyone else in the ring had to come together to get the three of them out. Like, do you keep now Zoe and Shayna together? Are you gonna? Yeah,
I think for the tag division.
Oh, you're in the fucking tag division.
Damn tag division. We're gonna keep them together.
They're not.
No. You don't want to see any of the tag divisions thrive. Come on.
No, I love tag team wrestling, but you're like crying about Vinci, who hasn't been in a tag team in how long? AOP hasn't been on TV. Again, like they haven't been used in any tag team matches. But it doesn't hurt the tag division if they're not being used. Like if DIY left tomorrow, or Motor City Machine Guns was like, oh, this is not our jams. Like that hurts the tag division.
Fair, I'll give you that.
And like Cedric and Ashanti weren't doing anything on NXT. Ashanti's too busy. I know, where's Mikey? Was it Petrovich? Or is it the other one? I confuse basically the all mid to lower card women in NXT are just like one person to me. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Well,
This way you gotta watch Mikey's show by Iconics because he can talk NXT better than I can.
yes. He also shows up here on Fridays and some Sundays for our recap, but we are here every Friday at 6 Eastern. So make sure if you're new, we've got a bunch of people watching in, whether it's on X, formerly known as Twitter, whether it's on Twitch, our new debut, our second
Second
performance on Twitch.
Are we like Penta? We have like an undefeated streak now on Twitch.
Yes, that's what we're calling it. A lot of people. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the like. Please subscribe. We here at the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour like to call it hitting the old Samoan spike on the like. As Solo returned last night. So now I can bring that back. But if you're more a Bray Wyatt fan, you can subliminally hit the like. Yeah. Getting a couple drops in, you know.
As per usual. If you love these drops, you gotta come in and watch at 6 on Fridays because this is his jamboreens.
Yeah. It's our jamboreens.
I love them too, but they're your babies.
But yes, we are here every Friday at 6, recapping and reviewing the week in wrestling, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, or AEW in general. There's pay-per-views going on. We're trying to recap them. If there's big news, you're going to hear about it. If there's non-kayfabe news, Nikki will provide these non-kayfabe news. So, again, this was just an impromptu one we threw on a Saturday because a lot happened. 10 superstars, really 11 were released. So we wanted to kind of just recap it because we normally do it on our Friday show, but this was a lot.
I'm also putting the plug in because also for, I guess it's more of a United States thing. I don't know. But Friday is Valentine's Day. And usually around holidays we have themes. And we're going to talk about my favorite wrestling couples in the world. So we didn't want to have sad Nikki's news to talk about releases. Because we want to be positive and be love in the air and talk about how much I love Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Exactly.
So.
Well, yes. Wrestling couples, whether it's on screen, real life, Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth, we'll throw that one out there, huh? Triple H, Stephanie. Maybe more obscure one, maybe, I don't know.
Mike and Maria Kanellis.
Yeah.
So great.
The Bennett. Well, she did Bennett.
No. Vince made him go as Mike Kanellis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
In AEW, they're the Bennett.
Yes. So we're love is in the air on Valentine's Day. Next Friday, we are doing a special Valentine's Day edition of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. So we're excited about that. I think we'll be previewing AEW
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, not Aussie Open. That was the tag team.
That is a tag team.
So I have to get that. But as people come in, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Nikki, The Rock likes to say breaking records. We're breaking records this afternoon. We in an impromptu show, record-breaking live audience.
I know. Give yourself a round of applause. I feel like we need someone to come out and we need this is where Steve needs to come in and we're breaking attendance records.
Just feel so blessed.
All that said, though, incredible team effort, and I feel so lucky and blessed to have this opportunity and be here and be part of this. Everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause. This is unbelievable. Thank you, guys.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Again, this is such a random impromptu show just to talk about the releases, but please come watch us on Fridays at 6 when we talk all the things. Nick does all the drops. Yes. We have our callers. We call them the regulars because, again, we're at our bar. We have our regulars calling in. Come be a regular. Tell us what you're drinking, what you're thinking.
Exactly. So, very fun, impromptu show. Blast hanging out with you all. So, we will see you next. Well, not next.
This. I know, I forgot.
That's how we do this.
The 14th, our Valentine's Day special. Come bring your favorite wrestling couples. Is it Billy and Chuck? Do you love Triple H and Stephanie like I do? Are you old school Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man?
so many things, so much love.
Luda
and
Vachon and
care.
Gangrel? Like, we can get obscure. Matt and Lita, Matt and Rebby, or you got Lita, Edge, that drama? CM Punk and all his ladies, and obviously AJ, his curtain, you know, apparently he got around a little bit. John Cena is, you know, Brie and Brian.
Or maybe is it Tom and Rhea?
Is your little chicken tender slut?
Is it me and Nick? Is your new favorite wrestling couple your favorite? You're my favorite. Get out of here.
Stop flirting. There's people here.
Oh my god, people are watching. We're not married. We're not.
A lot of people watching.
Gross.
The
Get
show.
off me.
Unbelievable. but yes, we are here every Friday at 6.
Eastern Standard, whatever that is
Eastern time,
to
yeah,
you.
whatever that correlates to you in your local market. But until next time, we always like to take us out because we're not really eloquent with our words. But
Speak for yourself.
whatever. Talking.
No more talking.
But we know people that are, so we'll just let Triple H take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight, another night, or this afternoon, really. Now it's nighttime. In the East, you know, clocks haven't been set back yet, so we're still dark, very dark over here. It's scary. But before you go, again, hit the old like, subscribe if you haven't. Again, this has been a phenomenal show for us. Very impromptu. Have a lot of people in the chat, a lot of new friends.
Literally, like around noon, you're like, "Hey, do you want to do a show today?" I'm like, "Okay." What else are we doing?
It's snowing. It's about to snow. Apparently, a lot of inches in New Jersey. So we're just like, it's the afternoon. Let's just make something of it and make the most of it. And this is the best way.
I know. Have a drink, talk wrestling. That's our favorite thing to do.
Exactly.
We're doing it with all you.
And we do it every Friday at 6. So make sure Eastern. Make sure you come back. We love having you. Your favorite local virtual bar. But until next time, we will see you. You do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Bye.